the previous session, a quick flashback within 2 minutes, and then we'll directly jump to the Mobex. So I have just changed my device because that Android looked a bit old. So now I have iPhone 13, and now we'll run the app on iPhone 13. Let's see whether it works or not. So I'm building the app here. Also, one more thing I just want to show you, which is again a kind of a small trick, which I realized that I should have shared it earlier, but that's okay. Okay, it's building right now. So Mobex is a very famous framework, especially in the web development. So if anyone have done production ready web development, like any enterprise level of application or anything, you might have come across this Mobex library or Mobex framework. So one of the expert from India itself has converted or like implemented the whole Mobex, which is based on the web, for the Flutter. So the app is working here, and let's just go to the Mobex. So if you go to the Mobex, this mobex.jx is actually, for the web stuff, everything about the web. But the same thing is available for the GitHub. So we'll type Mobex Flutter, and we'll get one website, official website. It's called mobex.netlify.app. We'll go and we'll see what exactly it is. So this is some good people who have said about it, and the author of like this whole library is sorry. Okay, we need to go to the GitHub. Pawan Podila sir. So Pawan Podila sir is again a kind of a Flutter expert like me. He's from Mumbai and he's quite senior. So how this Flutter, how this Mobex is a bit different from the other state management techniques. So here we have observed, like in a block, we have state, we have events, and we have the whole block, which contains our this thing called business logic. In provider, we create a class using the change notifier. We create some state variables. We manipulate the data into that class with the objects, and then we reflect those changes using the notify listeners. So those who are listening to this, they will get notified, and then it will get updated or like refresh the screen. Now in Mobex, when it comes to the Mobex have mainly three core components called observables, actions, and reactions. So what happens? Action actually mutate the observable. So observables here are the variables. So to update the value of observable, you can use the actions. Once you fire an action, it will change the value of the observables, and those components who are observing the observables will get notified, and from that reaction, user make any interaction that will raise the action again. So when you click on a button, that means user clicked on a button. That button will actually fire one action. That action will mutate the observable. Once observable will get updated, it will notify the UI and UI will get updated. So that's the core of this observable action and reaction. And if we want to go to see our counter application, so in counter application, we will create a one class like this. So it will create an abstract class. We will be having a one observable called value, and then there is one action called increment. So when an action increment get fired, it will change the value of a value variable, or it will update the data in the value variable, and this change will automatically get fired on the UI, and UI will be get updated. And to listen that changes, we might require some different thing, and that we will see in action now. So let's just go and see it. But before that, we will go to the pub.dev just to see that how we can install Mobex. So we will go to Mobex and we will go to install, and it says we need some stuff. Let's see what happens here. So in Mobex, getting started. The reason here we require some of the things, and that's why I'm not going to the pub.dev. It is not like properly written in the installing. Yes, it is not been mentioned properly. So we will go to the official website mobex.netlify.app, and here we will go getting started. So in the dependency, we will simply copy this. We will go to pub.dev, pubspec.yml. Over here, we will simply paste it, remove this dependency extra word, save it. So as soon as I'll save it, it will run flutter pub get command. Okay, now it says next add the following dev dependencies. So this dev dependencies will require to do some magic here. Let's see what that magic is. Let me just first copy dev dependency. You can see we have dependency tag, and then we have dev dependency. So I'll go again here. I'll paste it. This has already been there. So and save it. Now, Mobex is based on a code generation part. So Mobex is now my favorite state management technique because of this equation. Error is equal to more code. And whenever user write a code, there is always a problem. But if the code is generated by the computer, there won't be any problem because computer don't have the brain and they don't use it. So they just follow the instruction given by the users. So if we do not give the proper instruction, they won't work properly. But if we give the proper instruction, it will generate the file properly and it will help us. That's why giving a proper instruction is more important. So I have one funny video which I really loved it. Why, programming or giving an instruction properly is more important. Does everyone want to watch that video with me? Hello?
Yes.
You're not making
Okay, let's just see it. It's a funny video for 5 minutes, but let's just do it. That will be a fun. So here a dad actually asked his kid to create a peanut butter jam sandwich and ask his kids to write proper instructions. Let's see what happens.
Sorry.
Butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah.
Step 1. Get 2 pieces of bread out. Got 'em. Get a butter knife and get some PB. Take 1 piece of bread, spread it around with the butter knife.
No, Dad, with the peanut butter.
I'm just doing what it says. It says take 1 piece of bread, spread it around with the butter knife.
Hold on.
Get some jelly, rub it on the other half of the bread.
No, Dad, open the jelly.
It doesn't say to do that. Put the breads together on top of each other. Take a big bite. This doesn't taste like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Fail.
Get extremely specific.
Oh, good. I'm starving. Take 2 pieces of white bread out of the bag. Take the lid off the jar of peanut butter. Get a butter knife and stick it inside of the peanut butter jar. With the knife, scoop a bit of peanut butter out.
A bit, that means like a lot.
A bit means a lot?
In my world.
All right. There we go.
Doing better than before, though.
Open the jelly jar. Squeeze it onto the other piece of bread.
No.
Done. Closer. Get 2 pieces of bread. Get some peanut butter. Take the peanut butter knife. Open the peanut butter. Put the knife in the PB. Get some jelly. Open the jelly.
No.
Squirt the jelly onto the bread. Take the butter knife with the peanut butter on it. Wipe it all over the piece of bread that's blank. Take the butter knife. Rub the jelly all over the bread.
Oh, he's doing better.
That's all over. Put the 2 pieces on top of each other.
This is how I meant.
Take 2 pieces of white bread out of the bag. Take the lid off the jar of peanut butter. Get a butter knife and stick it inside of the peanut butter jar. With the knife, scoop some of the peanut butter out of the inside of the jar. Spread your scoop of peanut butter onto one of your pieces of bread with a knife.
No.
Squeeze some jelly onto the other piece of bread. Spread the jelly on the bread with the butter knife. Put your 2 pieces of bread, peanut butter and jelly sides together. Done. Get 2 pieces of bread. Get some peanut butter. Get some jelly.
So that's why like giving instruction to a computer is a bit difficult. If computer will, follow the instructions the same way as this dad is, following it. So I'm just posting this video here, link. Whenever you get time, just watch it. It's so funny. So you have a, the sense that what exactly I'm trying to say here. But it's really a funny video. And that's why not in programming, but in real life also, to giving a proper instructions to anyone is more important. So don't assume that, other person know each and everything. Perfect. So let's get back to the MOBEX. So in MOBEX, we have done this thing and we have done this as well. Now here in the MOBEX, everything is stored. So in block, whatever the main logic stays at a particular file, we call it as a block. In provider, we have something called class, and that extends the change notifier. But in MOBEX, it's a different. So first, let me just copy this API demo, copy, and paste it here with the API demo with MOBEX. And in main file, we will change this thing to home and API demo. Now we might be having 2 API demo. Now we required API demo from not provider, but from the MOBEX. Yes, so now we have from the API demo from the MOBEX. Perfect. And that's it. Why it says extract the method. Hold on, let me just go to our API demo 2. I just simply need to change the name, so it will be easy. Or I'll simply do API demo MOBEX. So that will be easy for us. API demo MOBEX, perfect. And let's run it, and it will be having an error, obviously, because now we have the code of this provider stuff. So we will remove this provider stuff. Remove provider. Simply right now I'm just putting here the value as an empty. Same thing we'll put here with the const and empty. It says put the const here. It's better. Perfect. And okay, we need to change this data as well in the list style. So we'll put here no data found. Const here regional also will pass subtitle as like this, and selected option is equal to again empty for now. Original can be null here. Okay, it won't null. Let's see, we will put it over here. Here item count is by default 0, and okay, showing data provider. Remove this, put a const. I'm just simply cleaning the code right now, so don't worry. We'll get it. So I have removed the provider from here. Perfect. So we have removed the provider. We'll simply remove this variable as well. We'll put the const and data provider count is equal to 10, for example. Regional, let's say basic regional, and remove this. We got it. So finally we have a new code without the MOBEX. And let me remove the unnecessary stuff, which is the provider. So we'll delete later because we might need some of the thing from here. So we'll create another folder called store. Now in the store, what we want, add a store and create a MOBEX store. A store in MOBEX is a way of collecting data related to the observable state. Now to create a store, two things we have to pay attention very closely, because this is the code generation. So we are telling him that we are creating an abstract file. The whole code generation will be done by the MOBEX plugin itself. How? Let's see it. So first, for that, we have to create a class that we are going to create. Here they have the counter class. We will create our own class. So here we will create a new file called data store dot. Here we will create, this is the sample, and here we'll create our file called data store. Here a private variable of data store with underscore dollar data source. Now what is this? I'll explain you in a while. Data store. Okay, so we'll remove this. Now you can see there is a include generated file. So we also need to say that, hey, there is another part of the file that is been getting generated, but you need to create it by your own self. So here we will give the same name. So here we will be having data underscore store dot g file, and this is the data store. And then we'll create an abstract class, the main store class. So here this is underscore is this. So here we'll create data store. As we can see here, we have store observable. So I'll simply click and import the MOBEX. So now I have imported the MOBEX. You can see the things are getting obfuscated. Now this error is here. Now to get rid of this error, we have to write one command in the terminal and tell them, hey, generate a file. So to do that, we have a command called flutter pub run build runner build. So as soon as I'll write this into my terminal, let me go to the terminal. I'm inside the project Flutter demo application. I'll simply copy and paste this command. Flutter pub run build runner build. And I'll enter it. And it will do some magic. Let's see what does it do. So it is doing something here. Something generating SDK summary. Okay. It says some actions has been completed apart from 18. I don't know what was that, but let's see what we have here. Okay, so now you can see we have datastore.g file just below this datastore.dart on the left hand side. If I go there, I can see that this is the code generated. Do not modify by hand. So we are not going to do it. It is just simply created a one file. And it has actually a kind of a mixin. So mixin is kind of the implementation of the abstract file. And it is just have one default method called toString. Now what we want is here, we want some observables on which we are taking care. So in our code, we have two observables. For now, one is the fetching data to show the loader. And second is our selected option. So here I'll create one observable with the Boolean. So we will go to our provider class and we'll see what we had. So we have fetching data. I'll simply copy it and put it into our data store. But now as we want to create this as an observable, so we want create as the private variable, we put it as the public variable and we'll write as the observable. If I save it, then I have to run that command again so that this observable annotation will do something for us. Now, every time I do change, I have to generate the code. So this is kind of a problematic. So just to get rid of it, there is a command, the same command, flutter pub run build runner, but rather than build, we have a watch option. So as soon as I will write a watch option, it won't get executed completely. It will keep a watch on my store file. So as soon as I will change anything, it will update .g file. So here you can see I just wrote a simple variable fetching data at that observable, and it has created the getter and setter method for me automatically. And that's the beauty which I like. So that's the observable. There is another observable that we have in data provider, which is like selected option. So let's copy it. Let's put it. Let's mark it as an observable. Remove it and save it. You can see there is some things happen here. I import this from the constant. And if we go to the store.g file, it has created again the selected option. And we don't care about what G file contains. So we'll simply now, we won't look at it. So now we have two observables. Now we have some action called fetch data. So we'll simply copy this method, fetch data, put it here and annotate it with @action and the fetching data. I'll remove the notify listeners because that's the part of the Flutter that we don't need. We need HTTP as well. So I'll copy this HTTP from here as an import part. So we got it. We don't require anything, but yeah, let's just have it. So debug print is a part of the material. API response, we need it. We need JSON decode as well, which is the part of the Dart convert library. And summary and regional, we will come back here a bit soon, and fetching data is equal to false. So as you can see, we have now action and two observable. Let's see what happens in the G file. So it's right now running and building it. It says there is some error here. Super.fetch, I don't know why. So if such kind of error, if you find, you can simply close this command and run that command again, and it will again generate the .g file. So if you think there is some issue and it's not working properly for this G file, there is again another command, like with the watch, delete conflicting outputs. So there are sometimes that something is running and not working properly. You can put flutter pub run build runner with the watch option, and then there is another option called -- delete conflicting outputs, and then enter. So it will actually delete this file, generate it again for us, and we'll remove all this unnecessary stuff. I don't know why it is still throwing an error. Let me just close it and do it again. Sometimes my VS Code doesn't work properly. So let's just do it, and I'm running this command again. Already the .g file is generated, but I'm just, for the safer side, I'm creating the G file again. So now we got it. Still have the problem. I don't know why. Oh, it says asynchronous. Oh, because as it is asynchronous, it must be a future and then void. So now it will resolve the problem, as we have copy pasted this. So it requires a proper return type as well. As any method which is asynchronous, it always returns a future. Now you can see the error has been removed. Now here comes the main part. Now we have this store. We are resetting the data, and now we want to use this over here in data providers. Sorry, in our API demo. This is API demo 1 or 2. Okay, we need to go to API demo 2 here. And here we want to utilize the same thing. So what we'll do, simply create an object. So this is our stateless widget. In stateless widget, we will create an object of our Mobex, and then we will write the code. So here in Mobex, if we want to do something to use the store, there is a simple thing which known as the observer. It's as simple as that, and we just simply call this observer and run the app. Nothing new we need to do. But how we can actually call this data? Let's just first wrap it with the observer. So here earlier we were using in the build method in API demo Mobex, here in the body, to get this loader, we were have something called builder method, like consumer. Here rather than consumer, we will be having a observer, which is actually observing the stuff. So here we will wrap it with the observer. We can see here we have it, observer, and in observer it's returning this, and this underscore is actually the build context. So we can write like this way as well, context. But if we are not using any variable here, so we can actually remove this, and just to save some space, we can write it as underscore. Now here we can directly use like the counter dot value. Now what is counter here? The observer. From where this counter is coming here, you can see, because I can't see here anything. This here you can actually create and instantiate a store. So here, as soon as this app gets started, API Mobex demo, we can create an object of our store, which is data store, I can directly write like data store equal to data store like this. And I can simply use this data store. Hold on, I did some wrong, some formatting. Okay, here we have, and here we can have this thing. So before that, we can create object of this data store, this class, which is actually implementing this. So here we can have a data variable is data store equal to data store and data store dot कुछ तो गड़बड़ हो रहा है यहाँ पे. Hold on, I guess I'm doing some keys unnecessary. Hold on. Okay, there is no issue. First, let me just do this final data store equal to data store. Okay. Now to use this, we will simply wrap it this thing with the observer, but rather than directly, I'll simply wrap with a widget. Here widget, I'll write observer. In observer, we have a builder method. In builder method, we are returning a context. And here we will see that data store dot fetching data is true, then we will show center, child, and circular progress indicator. And here is the constant. So here I have used a ternary operator. Here observer is actually observing this variable fetching data. Now this fetching data is here we have noted as observable. But if you go here and click on it, you will be redirected to .g file. So any change will happen, it will run the builder. Let's see. And again, we will do one thing on a builder method. We'll simply call data store dot fetch data method. Let's run this app and let's see what happens. There won't be any data right now because we are not utilizing any data variable here. There will be only a loader will be displayed and it will be gone. Okay, so as we can see, we can have, that loader and then it's coming back again. Now we need a data as well. So for the same thing, what we can do as in the store, we'll go to our data store. Now we have summary and regional. So we can have those both the data. So let's see what happens here. So we can create summary and data from here. So we can have another observable summary can be null. So this summary will become like this. And regional. So regional is a list of regionals. So here we will create another observable list of regional with the nullable. So we get this nullable. Now we can simply use this data using our variable called data store. So earlier we have the data provider Now we can have data store. Data store. Okay, I need to run that command because I restarted it. No. Null value can't be assigned to a parameter string. Data store dot summary dot confirm. This is name.
Sir, maybe we need to remove the constant keyword.
Oh yes, thank you. This is really a pain. Thank you for notifying this. Perfect. So yes, you are kind of a savior for me. Thank you. So now we got this data, and the same thing we can do here as well. So rather than doing the regional, we can simply show data store. What do we have here? Data store regional is defined in, can't be assigned to a parameter regional, where regional is defined here. Okay, so there is some issue with the implementation because we have copy pasted this stuff. This data source has a regional from somewhere else. So we will simply remove our model class from Mobix and we will use from the upper layer only. So we don't have this discrepancy. Delete. Okay, perfect. And now we have some proper implementation. API response is from the above model. We will remove this. Perfect. So now we have proper implementation. And here we'll simply data provider, data provider, data provider. No, sorry, data store. Data store, data store, data store. Data store. And let's rerun it app. So now we got the data here, but on click of it, nothing will happen because we haven't implemented it. So what we want to do over here is same thing. In the data store, we'll create another action. Just make sure that these annotation are all small case, not like in the upper case. So the another action that you are getting on the suggestion is different. So void filter data string value, and here simple selected option equal to value. And on click of this button in the label widget, what we have to do is data provider data store equal to data store and data store dot filter data equal to value. Sorry, it's a button label, and we'll remove this line of code from here. If we do this, you can see it's still not working. Also in API demo, we have showing data data store dot selected option. You can see the data is not changing. The problem here is, so as soon as we click on this label widget, we are creating another object of a data store. And that's the issue, because this particular data that is reside in this API demo is getting stored in a one object that we created here in the data store from this initializing. But we actually need the same object. If we pass the same object, this data store in the label object, let me just do it by this way, by in the label widget passing this final data store and required this dot data source store. And now if we use this data store by passing here the value, it will get changed. See. But now again, this is the same thing that happened. Like we can do this without implementing the MobX, right? Then what exactly the magic of MobX has done here? So the magic of the MobX here is, first thing, the code cleanup. As we can see here that we have a simple store which is changing this data, and as soon as the data gets changed, it will reflect the UI. Here if we see, even though we are not changing the value of fetching data, but our list view is getting updated. The reason is, in the observer, if any observable data is getting changed, it will get fired automatically. So in the observer, if any observable data we have written, so here we have summary, and also we have selected option. So this selected option is getting changed. This builder method is getting run again. And most of the time, the whole code is runs in a different way. So earlier we watched provider. So provider actually is not a state management package. It is actually for the dependency injection. So we were actually dependent on a class object, and that dependency we were injecting using the provider. So if we go to our main file, we can see we have created an object of the class and we are injecting that object towards the widget tree. And to do this, we actually have to have two things in place when we do a state management. I guess the Vivek also have explained this for the block. To create a block object, we have to inject the dependency of these things. And the same thing been used as the combine with MobX. With the provider, there is another dependency injection called getIt. So if we, because here we are doing the multiple screen, like from one screen to another screen. So that's why we need the object of this store class, this store class. Then only, it will work peacefully and like properly. So if we check the whole code with the MobX, we just change the provider class to a store class. And now it looks much more better because there is no notified listener or nothing. As soon as the data will get changed over here, we will be notified. Now, the one thing that we miss in the MobX is the reaction. What if I want to show something on the UI when any variable gets changed? Like I want to keep continuous listening. As soon as I get some data in the summary, I want to show some toast here. So for that, hello. Okay, yes, I could anyone want to ask something? No, okay, perfect. So for example, as soon as there is some change in the data and I want to show something, I need kind of a reaction that agar if I got some data over here, or the value is getting changed from false to true in the fetching data, I want to do something else. If I got that summary data, then I will do some other stuff, like I will do, the filtering stuff. So for that we have reaction. Also we have computed field. So rather than observable, we also have a computed annotation. Computed annotation is based on the observable. So here we can have, for example, integer value is equal to value plus fetching data. Or we can have summary. Hold on, how I can demo it? Let me just demo it from here itself. Observables computed. So in a computed, it actually gets the data from this observable, first name and last name. So here we can have computed string value equal to summary dot total plus total is in integer, it's an integer, plus original of 0 dot total, like this. But here we have to manage this, the null and everything. So we will manage it like this. In short, we have to do this. Right now I'm not going into this, but the computed field is used if our data is dependent on it, and it will be get automatically updated as soon as we do any changes here. So right now it's a bit complex, so I won't go inside it, but this is the stuff. And now to implement this thing, this data store variable to pass here inside each and everything, we have to inject it using the injectable, using the provider. So if we go to any other repo, we can see we have that kind of implementation with the provider. Hold on, I guess we have this. Do we have that here with the provider, so that I can directly send you the link? Hold on. So that example lib, and maybe tools we might have it. We have this provider. Multi-counter widget, we have the provider. Okay, so this is how we have the provider here, and this multi-counter widget. Examples. This example is coming from this is the class example, widget builder const Yes, here it is, the setting store and example lib. Okay, so we'll go back again and mean. Yes, so we have provider. So as it has implemented multiple providers, so we can have this kind of stuff. You can see the stores are being injected here, and those stores are being utilized the way we are using with the this thing in the API. So in the API we have that, and if we go here in the API demo, we have seen that we are using this line of code to fetch the data. We can do the same thing here. Rather than data provider, we can have data store, and in the main file here we can inject those things here using the data store. So if we do this kind of thing, we don't have to write this way, and we don't have to pass this object here. We can directly use the code that we are using earlier here like this, provider.off, but here we will be getting the object of data store. If we have injected the code like this way, here data store. So Mobex is used for a bit complex application rather than the provider, because in provider what was happening. Now let me just discuss the problem here in the provider. If you miss the notify listener, there is a big problem. So this will actually notify each and every listener. Like for example, if there are multiple consumers, your application have 50 widgets, and 50 widgets have this kind of consumer of this particular data provider, and you have this data provider with 15 consumer, and if you do the notify listener, it will update all these listeners. So that is unnecessary rebuilding of the stuff. That's the problem. Whether in a Mobex will notify only those observers where there is a particular variable is getting accessed. So for example, I am accessing this variable, and this variable data change, then only it will be get access, otherwise it won't. So that's the benefit. And there are some other benefits as well. Okay, let me first run this app. Final data store. I know I hope this is clear, or this is not that confusing, because I am merging each and everything in the single stuff. So that's okay here. Temporary, we can pass this lines here because I am using the same data in a different example. I could have taken another example, but fine. Let's run it. Okay. What happened? Why it's not working now? What I did? API Mobex demo, data store. Data store. Why it's not getting updated? selected options. Okay, where is the label widget? Okay, I need to remove this because I am using this data store. Now it will work. Okay. Now the problem, we are showing some other data here. Not a confirmed cases label. It should be button label, not the value. Cured, confirmed, death. So that's the MOBEX. So I hope now you understood that state management is not a rocket science. The only thing that we don't understand what exactly we want to change and why we want to change. If we know what we want to change, why we want to change, and how we can change, you can use block, you can use provider, you can use MOBEX or anything. Now there is one more thing that which I want to show with the MOBEX is, so if we convert this, our MOBEX API demo 2 API into the stateful, so we have some reactions. Reaction is a kind of a method which we can initialize in our init method. So init state. In the init state, we can have the reactions. So in the reaction, we have one function and one effect. So if you go over here in our official documentation, we can see here a reaction. So reaction is all about when any data get changed, it will run. So we have different kind of reaction called auto run, some reaction as well, a proper reaction, and then like auto run, reaction when, matlab it will run only when a particular value gets changed at particular level. So we can have that condition. Async when, it's for the future, and then there is some different things, observable widget and everything, which right now we are not considering into the scope. Let's see how it works. So let's just first implement the auto run. So in auto run, we just have a function. So this will simply get run, and it have, where did it went? Sorry, by mistake I have closed it. No. So reaction in auto run. In auto run, we simply have this called context, a null function, and what it will run, we can simply have scaffold dot off dot context dot show snake bar. It's not running. Oh, it's scaffold messenger, my mistake. Scaffold messenger dot off context dot show snake bar, and snake bar content text auto run. And we'll simply run this as into the initialize. Now you can see it's not running at all because we are not observing at any variable here. I can just simply do it like this way. Final string equal to data store dot selected options. Now if I run this, any data will get changed. It will just simply run auto run. See, auto run. And we can print the value as well here, which is like string. String value. And why I'm rerunning it, because it is into initialize, so we have to reinitialize it. So you can see cured. It will now again come the confirmed. If I click in, it will be death. So this auto run will run every time whenever there is any kind of changes. And this will also run on a first time when there is no data and we will set the data. So by default here in the data provider, we have one option here by default in the selected option. We can have it as an empty or like we can have it as a null. And then in the init method, in the API demo here in the init method, we can have the selected option, but we don't have this, the setter method. Sorry. We have, because we are using the data store dot selected option is equal to, here we can remove this. We can have it as a null in the store. And then we can put the option here as the option confirm. Now if we run, you will see API demo dot. Okay, so option. So it says that it can be null. So that's why it requires some data here. So if you see initially, data is not setting, why it is not running? It should run actually. There is some issue with the auto run. It should run immediately. I don't know why it is not running, even though it says it should run automatically initially. Let me try to rebuild the app. So auto run will run initially every time these values get changed, and any value if I write, it will automatically run. Like for example, rather than this value, if I write bool equal to data so store dot fetching data, it will run as well, the auto run. Like it will run, any of these value will get changed. But in reaction, only it will run when a particular variable will get changed. So in reaction, if I have a method and this will just look for data store dot fetching data, so it will run only when fetching data changes. So this auto run will run always when this thing is changed, but you can see auto run, you can see the another value when fetching data change, you will see again fetching data change. Auto run, because it is again here, we are changing the value of the bool and again fetching data change. So this auto run will run every time when any variable declared inside will get changed, but reaction will only run when this particular observable we are observing, and then only it will react. So this is Mobex. Earlier it was the provider, and the day before it was the block. So just to make everything simple, Flutter is nothing but just understanding what data we want to change in what time. And once the data is changed, do we need to update those changes on the UI? So in short, Flutter end-to-end is a stateful app where we know at a particular time what will be the value of a particular state, and that will be visible on the screen and user will be able to interact it. So that's the Flutter, and that's it. So I'm done from my session. I know this will be a very small, because now you know the whole concept is So you can just go to any library, whether it's a Mobex, whether it's a block, whether it's Redux, whether it's provider, Riverpod, anything. This is just same thing. You just need to define some variables which are getting changed, which you are manipulating, put it somewhere else, make it accessible throughout the app using the dependency injection, and you are done. So that's it from my end. I hope this helps.
Thank you, sir. Participants, if you are having any doubts or question, you may ask now.
Darshak sir, I want you to share the screen and you can share that what you have done in the Uttarayan evening.
Sir, give me a minute, just a minute.
Sure.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, I just want to ask that can we have more than one store? For example, sir, in e-commerce, I would like to share my data for multiple screen. Like first one is the login details and second one is my shopping cart. So they are both on different screen.
Yes. So a store can we have more than one, like at a company where I work right now, high level, we have like each store for each feature. Like for the authentication, we have a store. Like in your example for e-commerce, you have one store for authentication, which will take care of users, whether
Yes.
the token is like valid or not, if it is expired or not. As soon as your token will get expired, like if you have the timer control, and if you know the token is expired, you can change the status of the token that it is expired, and that token is already into the reaction. So as soon as token will get expired and you have code in reaction that when token is expired, you can log out. So your app will get log out automatically.
Yes.
So yeah, you can have multiple stores, and actually that is the only way that you can have more like clean code. Kansham sir, can you just stop a recording so that I can show you some code from my job related?
Yeah, sure,
As
sure, sir.